Hey everybody, and welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your girl Krissy Cela here. In today's video, I thought it would actually be really important to go through what supplements I take, why I take them, how you can take them, and the importance of breaking supplements down. Now, I just want to make something very, very clear. It does not matter how many supplements you take, how many magic pills you think there's available online, in shops. Nothing will beat a consistent nutritional diet and consistent training. Supplements are there to supplement what you already have. They are not there to transform your life. Supplements are there to replenish what you might be missing also, but again, they are not the magic solution. The first thing we're gonna do is cooking with Krissy. The first meal that we're gonna make is breakfast. I'm keeping in mind as well, people are in a rush. They just don't have time to be making 20,000 ingredient recipe meals in the morning. Like, we just need something good on the go that's gonna just keep us full for as long as possible and also just do the job. Now, as you guys know, I'm also sponsored by Women's Best. I'm also excited to let you know that Women's Best is having a huge Black Friday sale. All the information is in the description box, and so is my link, so you can purchase my athlete series that I know you love and is always sold out. We're having conversations about that because we can't always just have that product sold out. And also, if you make a purchase through my link, thank you so much, because I do make a small commission and it goes a long way. So, how much protein do you need? This is like the biggest debate I think you have in the fitness industry. Everyone is like 1 pound per kilogram, 0.5 grams of protein per kilogram, and it's just like, sorry, what? Because to be honest with you, you already know I failed maths 5 times, so I can't assist when it comes to numbers. But all I do know is do your own research and find your own conclusions, which I'll also link major journals and articles in the description below so you can read and find out more information for yourself. The rule of thumb tends to be that you should have about 0.35 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, if you do the maths, if you're about 130 pounds, that's what? 45 grams of protein, 50 grams of protein. That's for someone who's not moving. That's like baseline. If you are trying to build muscle, if you are trying to grow, 50 grams of protein is simply not gonna cut it. That's the equivalent of 2 scoops of this protein powder. This protein powder has 25 grams of protein. If you are bodybuilding, if you are trying to build muscle in any department of your body that you're trying to build it, you need more. So I weigh about 130 pounds. I tend to try and have about 120 grams of protein. That's how much protein I try to have, simply because the amount of weights I'm also pushing and how much I'm trying to grow, because I'm always trying to grow, I'm always trying to change and always trying to evolve. 50 grams of protein is just not going to cut it. But it's good to know that 2 shakes a day could be equivalent to 50 grams of protein. When to have a protein shake, I'd recommend in your smoothie like I'm making now in the morning, or with your oats, and then post-workout. The reason post-workout is actually really, really important, and I would argue one of the most important meals in your entire day is your post-workout meal. The reason being, your muscles are so depleted when you are training them, especially if you are bodybuilding and strength training. You're literally tearing that muscle up to rebuild it. Now, if you're depleting your energy, you want to replenish it. The quickest way to do so is with a post-workout meal. Quickest form is with protein. The quickest way is just a protein shake. So 1 scoop of Women's Best protein powder. I tend to go for ISO whey or my flavor, which is fudge brownie, with water. You're good to go. Pre-workout meal. So, do you need a pre-workout meal? Can you work out fasted? Like, what is the rule of thumb? Honestly, it really does depend on the individual. Some people find it like really intense when they eat and then they go work out, especially if you're doing high intensity workouts. So my recommendation would be stop following what everybody else is doing and kind of figure out what your body's telling you to do. The whole concept of eating before you train is honestly just to give you the energy that you need to work out. I personally always eat something before I train, whether it's a banana or a protein bar or a slice of toast, because if I go and I lift the weights I'm lifting on an empty stomach, I will 100% faint. Like, I will see stars and I'm gone like timber on land. It's done. Why are you cracking up? So a bagel for the carbohydrates, it's glucose, it's an energy source, it's something that you need. You can have better carbs than a bagel. This is obviously like a very sticky carb, but I don't care, I love it, and I absolutely love bagels, and that's that. Then a fat. Insulin is really important. Again, it will keep you going, especially with those heavy lifts, and you will tap into your fat energy source. And then protein, I'm just gonna go for 2 eggs. I'm literally gonna do a toasted bagel with 2 eggs, and this is obviously for protein synthesis. So that's what I would go for. For my pre-workout drink, I am obsessed. I don't think you quite understand how obsessed I am with my sweet peach pre-workout from Women's Best. Now again, a lot of you message me, you're like, am I supposed to be this itchy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It'll get you pumped up. No, I'm joking. If it's itchy, just like figure out how you feel with it. I'm pretty immune to it, nothing I'm proud of, but it's got to the point now where not even 10 shots of coffee do anything for me, unless I think that, and then my personality's scattered all over the place. But anyway, pre-workout is a must. I always have it. High in caffeine, so I would definitely check with your doctors, but my favorite flavor in the world is sweet peach. So pre-workout with a little bit of creatine. So with creatine, again, it's probably a really big debate in the fitness industry. It is the highest and most studied supplement in the world. Your muscles naturally make this. You can get enough creatine in from your diet, so the meats that you're eating and the protein sources that you're getting. Creatine powder is a great way to get your creatine source. So I do about a scoop of creatine with a scoop of pre-workout, and that's my drink. Ideally consume 30 minutes before you start training, and that would be optimized in its best capacity.
God damn, girl! Bitch, don't play with me.
Shut up. Calm down. She's got attitude today. Listen, presentation 10-10. I've got to the point where if you really look back at all my old videos, they were all so aesthetic. Do you remember? Like, all the food looked like Gordon Ramsay. Now it's like, that's what you get. Moving on to lunch, what I'm gonna make is, I don't know about you, but I find chicken like hit and miss. If it's not juicy, if it's not succulent, I just don't want to entertain it. So one of my favorite ways to make chicken is like really thin, battered, not with batter, like flour batter, but battered. So what I do is I thinly slice as much as I can my chicken, and then I whack some olive oil on it, some salt all over it, and I do this and I take it to work with me. As you guys know, I've always said I really like making my own food for work, simply because one, it's expensive just to keep eating out. Two, you don't know what they're really putting into your meals, even if they are quote unquote healthy, and you just have more control. Like, just having a bit more control on what you put in your body is like really important. So I put it on a piece of baking paper, and then I roll it back out like that, and then what I do is I get really aggressive with it. Whew. Got a bit flustered. No, I'm joking. You hit them, so you want to make them as thin as possible, and then we're going to put them on a pan with some olive oil, and they're just going to sizzle, and they're just going to be really juicy. Fuck, I've got a bicep pump, man. So it's a little bit thinner. But whilst that's sitting there and we make it, we're gonna make the rice. So I'm gonna wash the rice. For lunch, I've made me, the team, and Brett some chicken, rice, and asparagus. I just don't think you can go wrong. And if you make it full of flavour, then it's nice. So I'm gonna have that. And then for water, I'm gonna fill up my flasks. These flasks are from Evolve You. I cannot live without these flasks. And the reason why I made these bright, because a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you just keep them like very neutral, very basic? And I was like, because there are so many times throughout the day where I'm on set, I'm in the office, and I forget to drink water. Like, I literally forget. And then by the time it's like the end of the day, I'm like, why is my head throbbing? It's because you haven't drunk any water. So by making them bright, it's like a reminder to drink. So that's why I went for a really bright orange and a really bright blue. So you don't forget to drink your water, and it's like a trigger to do so. In my water, I tend to add BCAAs. Now, BCAAs for me is one of those things where it's not a must. You don't need to essentially buy a supplement like BCAAs. Your muscles naturally produce it, so I'm not gonna sit here and go, yeah, definitely go get it, you definitely need it. Like, you don't need it. I put it in my water purely on the basis that I like the flavor of it, and it's just an extra added thing into my regime. If I could list all of the supplements in priority, honestly, I would prioritize protein, creatine, and then the two I would almost have just because I love having is pre-workout and BCAA. It's not a must, it's more of a, I just kind of like having it. It's like having a cup of coffee. You don't need it, you just kind of like having it. But out of all the supplements I've spoken about, the two supplements I would highly recommend is the protein powder and the creatine over anything else. So I add it to my bottle, and then I just sip it throughout the day. I try and have at least 2 liters of water a day, but it does depend. Like, honestly, like, we've just got to be realistic. Sometimes you have 2 liters, sometimes you have 1 glass, and you're just like, what is going on? But water is just so important, so try and have as much as you possibly can. And if you struggle with water, then put in something like, you know, a little bit of a dilutant in there, like squash, not the vegetable squash, we call it squash in the UK, like a flavor, or BCAAs. It just helps. Okay guys, so for dinner, I made vegetable soup. So this is fresh soup that I just made over there. So this is mine and Brett's soup with a cheese toasty. So easy to make. Literally, you just grab a pan, pop all your veggies in there, pop some garlic, onion, olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano, roast it for about 45 minutes, and then you're gonna add vegetable stock, blitz it, and that's your soup ready to go. It's as simple as that. You can add any veggie you want. And then for the cheese toasty, I just used cheddar cheese and then sourdough bread. I flipped it over in the pan, and then I put it in the oven just for it to cook a little bit more thorough. And that's it. And now Brett has to clean up. How excited are you to clean up?
More hungry.
You're more hungry? Oh, more, yes, more hungry.
It's very potential.
Okay, I've got to go. Bye, love you. Come here, say bye to everyone.
Bye.
No, don't be rude.
I'm all greasy.
No, you're beautiful. Come here, don't be rude now. Bye.
See ya.
You're just fucking idiot. Bye, guys.